I call the member for Ryde.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I appreciate the call and can confirm that the opposition will be supporting this notice of motion. And I thought in sharing some remarks, I might begin by sharing a personal story and then just speak to a few of the details in relation to road safety. When she was 19 years old, my mother was involved in the last serious car accident of the year. It happened on Tuncurry Road, I believe, in the member for Port Macquarie's electorate, and was life-threatening. She was airlifted from the place to hospital and underwent extensive surgery, recovery, and years of rehabilitation. She was told that she would likely never walk again, and that myself and my two sisters would probably never have been. Of course, it was a miracle that that wasn't the case, but it really did emphasise for me the importance of decisions in places like this that not only reinforce but promote road safety. And I note that this was an election commitment of the government, and they are to be commended for honouring that commitment. However, it really can't be the end of the story. And as I've come to understand a little bit more about this demerit point return trial that the government has introduced, it has struck me that the details of the policy came without extensive support from road safety experts. And I was troubled to learn that in the last year, the road toll under this government has in fact increased. And as of today, the road toll for 2025 is at 130 fatalities. That's an extraordinary number, and 130 too many, which is up from 111 last year on the same date. So that indicates that whilst this policy might be in operation, it isn't in a numerical sense having the impact that the government might have hoped that it would. And as I mentioned, it does come without the support of road safety experts, and the Centre of Road Safety themselves didn't support this policy. The government promised an independent review of the policy after 12 months, but I understand that that hasn't happened. And whilst I note the round tables, I think there's a lot more work to be done when it comes to road safety and turning what is now 130 fatalities into our constant objective, which is towards zero. And I really would encourage this government to think more than beyond this policy. This policy sounds nice. I think that it has some impressive statistics, but it really can't be the end of the story. And I think that all of us should dedicate ourselves to better advocacy in this place on behalf of our electorates, fighting for important funding for road safety upgrades. And I think thinking beyond this particular policy, which in and of itself, as the evidence would suggest, is not actually turning those road fatalities in the right direction. So that is my strong urging to the government in relation to this motion. I think that it is one of the most important things that we can do is keep people safe, and particularly on assets that we are ostensibly responsible for. Roads across the state are the responsibility of state government, and so I would urge, whilst we will of course be supporting the motion in principle, urge the government to go further, to do more, to continue to invest, and to continue to listen to road safety experts. They're there for a reason. They're there to encourage us to make the right policy decisions, to direct resourcing into the right programs, and it was troubling to me that this one, which is being held up as a flagship of the government's road safety response, is in and of itself not responsible for turning the numbers in the right direction. So that's my urging. Of course, we'll be supporting the motion, and I encourage the government to continue to invest in this important area of public policy.